What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleazebomb. We are 6 hours away from the NFL Kickoff. Can you smell it? This is the episode you are waiting for, the last episode dropping of the week. I got all my content out to you guys. This is my week 1 8 smash start players that I think are going to hit 20 plus points in fantasy football, plus a bonus player at the end. For the outro of the video, I will drop him as well, guys. As always, before we dive into it here, hit that thumbs up, smash that subscription button. I'll be bringing you fantasy football content all year long to help you dominate. And if you guys have any questions that does not have to pertain to this video, drop them in the comments below. I try to get to every single one of them, guys. And if you guys want to join the Discord, we just hit 150 members in there as well. The guys FF, me and my partner Big Draft Energy, we cover everything dynasty player values, trades, redraft, all your trades, everything you need is in that Discord for you guys as well. And shout out to our sponsor, Drafters. If you haven't signed up on drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. It will match your deposit up to $100. Best ball drafts, they're going to have midway best ball drafts. Tomorrow I'll be live doing some splashes, which is a daily DFS draft, which is one of my favorite things that they put out there. And of course, our pick'ems and everything like that will be in the Discord as well, guys. Now, let's dive into my smash starts for week 1 in fantasy football. So in this video, I'm going to give you 2 quarterbacks, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends that I think are going to hit 20 plus points. Obviously, the tight ends are a little tougher, guys, but we're going to get into that when we get to the tight ends here. And I'm looking at Fantasy Pros rankings here as well. Shout out to Fantasy Pros. So I'll use their rankings for the players. So it's not like I'm telling you to smash start a top player like Lamar Jackson or something like that. So quarterback number 1 is going to be Trevor Lawrence, T-Law, and Duval County. They're going against the Carolina Panthers, guys, at home. And the Carolina Panthers defense last year gave up 7,000 total yards and just anemic 4,000 yards on the ground, 3,000 plus thousand yards in the air. Now, Trevor Lawrence was banged up last year, and this is something you have to realize when looking at last year. He only played 10 games. You could say 9 because he exited early in 1, right? So when you're looking at these numbers, they are very skewed. So pass attempts were down 284, that's 31st. Pass completions 172nd. Completion percentage 60%, only 11 touchdowns. But here's what you have to like, and he's going to do this more this year too. 119 yards with 3 rushing TDs. He is going to be rushing the ball more this year, 100%. Deep balls was at 43. Gotta love that. QBR 56.1. And those deep balls, again, you got to think of that as he only played 9 games. So he could be in the top 5, especially with BTJ and Travis Hunter added. Now, why you have to like this so much this week, and the only thing that scares me away is this little update of the rain, precipitation at 50%. That would obviously hurt the passing game. That's common sense there. So I'm hoping for no rain in this game as we talk about it. And I have a couple more players that are in this game. So just remember that rain aspect throughout the video here. Now, you get Trevor Lawrence, you get Travis Hunter, Liam Cohen, the offensive-minded guru from Tampa Bay who had Chris Godwin as the wide receiver 2 overall before injury last year. Now you have Travis Hunter slotted in to play that spot. They get Diami Brown, and obviously they have BTJ and Brenton Strange I just talked about in my sleeper video as well. This game against the Carolina Panthers is going to be over under 46.5. I think it's going to be way over. If you've watched any of my videos, this is the game I've been targeting all week long. This is going to be like both terrible defenses on both sides with both ascending offenses. You got Dave Canales on the Panthers side. They're coming up. And you got Trevor Lawrence on the Jag side and Liam Cohen is the head coach. They're coming up. You're going to have, Trevor Etienne, Tank Bigsby. Maybe you see a splash of Byshell Tootin as well. I love Trevor Lawrence this week. I think this is an easy 20-plus point smash week for T-Law. Number 2, we're going to stick with the same game here, guys. Bryce Young going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, who was number 2 worst versus the pass last year. Didn't really add much, again, in their secondary or defense to help their defense this year. They will be healthy on the line. Got a couple good DNs to get off for pressure. But Bryce Young, so when you're looking at last year, these numbers, right? He got benched for Andy Dalton, had a rough start to the season. But what is their head coach known as? He's called the QB Whisperer. He saved Geno Smith's career, he saved Baker Mayfield's career, and he's about to save Bryce Young's career. So when you're looking at last year with Bryce Young, right, you got benched for Andy Dalton for a little bit in the season there, got to sit back, got to learn from the coach, and look what happened when he came back in. Down the stretch of last year from week 12 to week 18, he was quarterback 6 overall. And he also had 6 rushing touchdowns to go with it in that span. So looking at these numbers, obviously they're a little skewed because he only played 14 games. You could say 13 because he got benched in one of the games, right? So 384 pass attempts, 234 completions, 60.9% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns. I expect all these numbers to go up drastically. 249 rush yards with 6 rushing TDs. That's what you want in fantasy football. Deep balls at 49. That's going to go up. QBR 50.7. All of this is going to go up. Now, what do? They trade out Adam Thielen. He's gone. They bring in the big pineapple. Shout out to my guy, Chef Tet McMillan, the 6'5" red zone threat out of Arizona. He had a couple hamstring injuries, but he's good to go week 1. He's going to be rocking and rolling out there. They bring in Hunter Renfrow to slide in for what I was hoping for to be Jalen Coker for a monster breakout for him, but he came down with an injury and is on IR. Xavier Legette, could he be in for a little breakout season here? Possibly. You know, he's a great route runner, physical guy. And you also have my breakout guy from last year that I might have been a year too early on Jatavion Sanders out of Texas. I loved him there. But the best part about it is this team is returning their whole offensive line. It is a top 5 to 7 offensive line unit. You can rank them anywhere in there you want. The Chuba Hubbard back as well. Very, very undervalued running back. This game, I'm just enamored with this game. I think it's going way over the spread. And both these quarterbacks, I mean, I'm willing to start Bryce Young over a ton of quarterbacks. Like I start him over Dak Prescott that's playing tonight. My first running back off the board, player number 3, is going to be Austin Ekeler of the Washington Commanders. And yes, I have been saying that this Giants front 7 is going to be very, very nasty versus the rush. I do not expect Austin Ekeler to thrive in the run game. But guess what? He was just named the starter for the Commanders. And when you look at last season, you're looking at these numbers right here, right? This is with only 12 games. He got injured. And he also played split time with Brian Robinson. I know they have the Ja'Cory Krosky merit hype. I told you guys this is why you subscribe to the channel. This is why you follow Sleaze. I said do not blow all your dynasty trade value on a guy that is not even out there yet, that is just hype from preseason. And now he got named 4th on the depth chart. I don't buy the depth chart stuff. You know, Chris Rodriguez, McNichols, all that. I do think JCM will be second behind Austin Ekeler. But when you're looking at Austin Ekeler's number, 77 attempts, 367 yards, 4.7 for carry, 4 touchdowns, but 35 receptions. I expect this number to be in the 50, 60, possibly a little higher than 60 range this season. Receiving yards, 366, receiving touchdowns, 0. Now, the Giants front is going to be one of the nastiest fronts in the game. JD5 is probably going to lead this game in rushing yards because they're going to press the edge so much he's going to step up. Austin Ekeler is going to thrive in the PPR receiving game in this game. I expect him to find pay dirt, and I expect 8 to 10 receptions, which is already 8 to 10 points right there in fantasy football, just in catches alone. And you could sprinkle in 30, 40, whatever kind of, I'd say like 25, 30 rushing yards to go with it. But you also have Terry McLaurin back signed. You got Deebo Samuel. What does Cliff Kingsbury like to do? He likes to run short little screen pass plays, which is where Austin Ekeler lives, which is why they let Brian Robinson go. And I believe that Austin Ekeler is going to get 20 fantasy football points in week 1, and he's a great, great flex play if you need it. Running back number 2, player number 4 on the smash start list that I have is going to be Jordan Mason. And I've been saying it since he was traded to the Minnesota Vikings that this is my league winner all year long. I also said it was going to be down the stretch, and the coaching staff is already alluding to that this may not be a 1A, 1B. This may be a 1A, 1A. And I've never trusted Aaron Jones heading into age 31, 5 MCL injuries to 1 knee. Can he stay healthy all year? He stayed healthy last year, or, he missed a couple times here and there in games, but I just don't trust the guy. You're getting the Chicago Bears on Monday night. The Vikings are loaded across the board, every single position. I mean, there's not a single weakness on this team, coached absolutely phenomenally. And where did the Minnesota Vikings struggle in 2024? In the red zone. Why did they bring in Jordan Mason? I'm guaranteeing a Jordan Mason touchdown this week, and I honestly think he's going to see more work than Aaron Jones in this game. Now, when you're looking at 2024 here, right, you're looking at he played 12 games, got injured in the 49ers as well, missed the entire down the stretch, right? Or he honestly missed like 10, 11 games. You could say week 9. He barely played in week 10, 11, 12, and 13 because that's when CMC had his little return, right? So in the time that he was gone, the first 4 weeks of the fantasy football season, 22 points, 17 points, 24 points, 8, 9, 9, right? Great start. But Shanahan also can create any running back and make him good. Now, 153 attempts, 789 yards in like a 9-game span. He would have crushed 1,000 yards. 5.1 yards per carry. That is number 7 in the NFL. That is unbelievable. 3 touchdowns. He doesn't get a lot of receiving work. 11 receptions, 91 yards. That's where I think Aaron Jones will thrive. Receiving touchdowns, 0. Now, Monday Night Football game. Do you think they're going to come out and crush a lot of Aaron Jones running the ball in this game? I do not. Jordan Mason is going to find the end zone in this game. You're going to have Justin Jefferson drawing the doubles. They cannot bracket the box. TJ Hawkinson is back healthy. And your rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Like, do they think that the Vikings are going to come out pass heavy in the very first game? I don't think so. I think they're going to try and control the clock. That's why they got the offensive lineman. They upgraded the offensive line. They picked up 2 players from the Colts. Their offensive line is also ranked in the top 10. Jordan Mason is one of my favorite flex plays this week that I'm thinking is going to hit 20-plus points in week 1. Heading over to the wide receiver side, it is time to talk about Matthew Golden, who was just named the number 1 wide receiver on the depth chart for the Green Bay Packers. Now, when you're looking at this game, they're playing the Detroit Lions. This is going to be a high-scoring affair game, possible NFC Championship look, 47.5 over-under. I think the Packers mop them out the building in this game, but we'll wait and talk about that after it's over here. So, Matthew Golden, when you look at his college career at Texas, he didn't really thrive till later in the season when Isaiah Bond went down for sure. Transferred from Houston, right? So, didn't even have a 1,000-yard season, 987 yards, 9 touchdowns, but he's been the electric talk of the entire camp. You have Jaden Reed banged up with his foot, who's going to be a week-to-week nightmare that's going to need surgery, but he's going to play through the injury because the Packers have Super Bowl aspirations this year. Great offensive line. Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Jordan Love back healthy, who was hurt all last year. Is the most undervalued quarterback in fantasy football. Obviously, there's no stats to talk about here because he doesn't have any NFL stats yet. This is going to be his first game. So I will update that as the season goes on here. But you're getting the Detroit Lions, guys. And the Detroit Lions, where did they struggle last year? The passing game. They gave up 4,400 plus yards in the air. This is where Matthew Golden is going to feast in this game. I cannot wait to see this guy get out there. I cannot wait to see the Green Bay Packers absolutely throttle the Detroit Lions and all the Detroit Lions hate I've been getting. The Green Bay Packers are a possible Super Bowl pick. I mean, I picked the Rams, but the Micah Parsons edition, you got to think of the defenses, get him the ball more, give him more opportunities. That guy's an absolute freight train. I can't believe he even was on the trade block. I love Matthew Golden in week 1, and I think he's going to hit 20 points and should be a wide receiver 2 play. And don't even think about it if you need him as a flex. That's an easy call. Rookie fever, baby. Wide receiver number 2, Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State, is literally locked into the number 2 role because of the Bucs injuries that they've had. So when they went into this draft, they knew that Chris Godwin wasn't going to be out there. Obviously, they didn't know Jalen McMillan would go down with that crazy neck injury. Looks like he's going to be out until after the bye, week 10. And I think Emeka Egbuka is just going to run with this job and never look back. Now, why this is going to be so amazing in week 1 with Emeka Egbuka. You get the Atlanta Falcons. You get Bowman Jr. He's going to be playing the slot against Emeka Egbuka. He is the worst ranked corner nickel in the NFL. Emeka Egbuka is going to toast this man. Dude, Emeka Egbuka looks like Malik Neighbors out there, route running and just knowing how to get open, knowing like the volatility of football. His knowledge is so good. It is absolutely crazy. Baker Mayfield, they're going to focus on Mike Evans. They do have 2 good outside corners out there in Atlanta. They did draft, a couple. They spent a lot of draft capital on their DN to get some pass rush. But and Tristan Wirfs might miss the game or a couple games here with their left tackle, which could hurt. But Baker Mayfield knows this offense. Grizzard, the offensive coordinator, comes through the ranks. Obviously, Liam Cohen is on his way to Jacksonville, which could hurt there. But this guy knows the system, and I think Emeka Egbuka is going to absolutely toast the Atlanta Falcons. And I think he's even in for possibly 2 touchdowns in this game. I love Emeka Egbuka at week 1, and he's going to hit 20 points easy. Heading over the tight end side, player number 7 is going to be tonight. It is going to be Jake Ferguson of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he obviously got injured last year, so all these numbers are kind of skewed in a way, and he's also playing quarterback with Cooper Rush when he came back. His Dak Prescott went down, so you got to factor that in here. Now, when you're looking at these numbers, 86 targets, still top 10 in tight end, even missing weeks. So he only played 14 games, and he went out early in the beginning of the game, literally the start of the game. So that was like the first drive. So you could say 13 games there. So that would be even higher. 59 receptions, 494 yards, did not find the end zone, which is wild. I think that number is going to go way up this year. Target share still at 17%. That's nice there. 65.6 snap share. Obviously, he was hurt all year. And route participation, 55.5. All these are going to go up. Now, what do the Cowboys do? They have CeeDee Lamb, and now they have George Pickens. That is going to be the focal point of the defenses. The middle of the field is where Jake Ferguson is going to live. And what you have to realize in fantasy football is the Dallas Cowboys all year long are not going to be running the football that much. When you have Javonte Williams, Jadon Blue, Miles Sanders, however you want to look at it, you're going up against the Philly front. That front is going to get after them. They're not going to be rushing the ball much. And the second thing you have to know is that Dak Prescott loves his tight end. When Dak Prescott was a starting tight end in the 7 games that he played, do you know how many times Jake Ferguson had 7+ targets in those games? 5. 10 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets. That is his guy. Jake Ferguson is going to be an absolute smash play for me this week. And remember, it is harder for tight ends to hit 20 points, so I'm not going to say that he hits 20, but I like Jake Ferguson and a lot more tight ends this week, and he should be in your starting lineup tonight. Last but not least, tight end number 2, player number 8, the Beast, Tyler Warren out of Penn State, who should have been the first tight end drafted off the board. I can't believe Colston Loveland went over him. Obviously, there's no stats for him in the season yet. I will update that as we go through it. But what you got to look at here is this is just crazy. 1,233 receiving yards in Penn State, 8 touchdowns. Hang on, 218 yards rushing, and he was a freaking high school quarterback. This guy can cover it all. I've even called that I think he's going to throw a passing touchdown this season, something I bet on in Vegas with crazy odds as well. Now, you're going to get the Miami Dolphins. This defense is beat up across the board already heading into week 1. And I know your quarterback is Daniel Jones or Danny Dimes or Danny Dumps or whatever you want to call him. But what you have to look at with Daniel Jones, and I talked about this on my guy Big Draft Energy show. I did a little research behind the scenes, next gen stats, used a couple of metrics to figure this out. So when Daniel Jones is passing outside the hash marks, left or right side, his completion percentage is one of the lowest in the NFL history. It's absolutely terrible. But where does Danny Dimes thrive? He thrives across the middle as a top 10 accurate passer across the middle, according, to pass attempts and the amount of numbers according to next gen stats. Where is Tyler Warren going to live? Across the middle. What have you seen in the preseason from this monster already? This is why he was one of my favorite targets at value in drafts. This is why he's my most owned tight end in best ball. Tyler Warren is literally going to be, dude, I mean, I'm not going to say tight end 1, but you could look at it as, oh my God, he's a rookie. You can't say that anymore. Sam Laporta was tight end 1 as a rookie. Brock Bowers was tight end 1 as a rookie last year. Could we get a three-peat? I love Tyler Warren so much. I'm not saying he's tight end 1, but you damn sure better make he's in your goddamn roster this week because he is going to go nuclear against the Miami Dolphins. Bang. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. Thanks for rocking with me all week long, man. If you guys want to check out every single thing I have for week 1 is up. All the stardom sit-ems, every position, every matchup, every ranking, even kickers and defenses are out there as well. My sleeper video I just posted. This is going to be the last video of the week. Then we got live shows all week. I'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live today with the Start Sit-em show. We'll be live recapping Thursday for the Friday night Chiefs Chargers game. And then Sunday, the big show, an hour before kickoff, we'll be live for another Stardom Sit-em, guys. And I told you at the end of the video, you're going to get a last smash start sleeper play that I love this week. And it is going to be Jerry Jeudy versus that awful Bengals pass defense. They're going to be playing from behind all year long. Volume is king. Jerry Jeudy is going to absolutely smash in week 1, possible 20-point play there. Now, that's it for me, guys. I hope to see you guys in the live stream. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe on the way out. You guys want to check out the Discord, that'll be pinned in the comments and in the description as well. And if you guys haven't signed up on drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. It will match your deposit to $100. And I'll catch you guys in the live shows, man. That's it for the videos of the week. My goal is to get everything out to you before the Thursday kickoff so you have all my information that you need to dominate your leagues weekly. That is why you subscribe to the channel, because I grind my ass off for you guys to dominate this. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode, man. Sleazebomb out.